Yeah, before we. Okay, so recording started.
All right. All right. So, hello everyone, and Pinini here. You can also call me ThinkDecade, and I think that most of us already know each other from the hackathon that we all participated in, the Arbitrum one, and it's great to reconnect and talk about things that we are all building and Gitcoin.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to share my screen. I think that would be nice. And that should yeah, that should let you see. Okay, good. So let's see. Okay, good. So I'm sharing my screen now. let me know if you can see it.
Okay. Yeah, we can. Yeah, it's
okay.
clear.
Yes. So I'm going to do just 5% overview and then 95% practical, right? So Gitcoin is a platform for funding projects and running large-scale funding experiments, capital allocation experiments. So they build software. They build software that enables anyone to fund their community, but they also run grant campaigns every 3 months. It's a very large-scale grant campaign where they accept projects across the Web3 ecosystem, specifically open source projects, and they fund these projects across different categories. And with that, they also run community rounds. So previously, they've had different names for these rounds that run alongside the main Gitcoin rounds, right? So the last one, or the last two one that I remember, was the independent round. And in this particular round, it's called the community round. So yeah, so chances are, if you are working on a project that is open source in nature, whether it is a decentralized application or an infrastructure-based project, Gitcoin, it's a very great funding opportunity or funding place for you to get capital to continue building what you are working on. And so the whole concept of public goods not being funded very well, Gitcoin kind of like provides a solution to that. It's not 100% solution, but at least it's something that when you understand it and you participate in it to a very large extent, sometimes it can help you very well to get capital to be running your project, or to get funding to be running your project. So that is basically a quick overview of Gitcoin. Now, the way that the fund project on Gitcoin works is that they enable anyone, right, to participate in the allocation of the capital. And this is very, very important, right? So traditionally, funding works by having a group of people who allocate a given capital to a selected project, right? A selected project. But Gitcoin comes in and say that, okay, we are looking at funding public goods, and how about we flip the scripts and say that the people who benefit from the public good get to decide how much capital should be allocated to these public goods, right? And so the whole idea is that if, example, DeFi Africa, right, is a public good. They do a lot of education. They do a lot of hackathons. They help a lot. What if the people who benefit from the value that DeFi Africa is offering get to decide how much they should receive from a specific amount of capital, So that is a little bit of the thinking behind public good funding powered by Gitcoin. And so now to do this, right, they invite everyone for that matter to come and vote for projects. And the way you vote for projects is through donation. So anytime you donate to a project, you actually vote for the project. And for every specific round or grant round that a project find themselves in, remember, they are participating to get funding from a grant pool, right, called the matching fund. So the matching fund is the total amount of money that is allocated to the specific round and is to be distributed to the various projects that are participating in the round. So if you check, for example, what we have right now with the current round going on, they have allocated $200,000 for projects that are building Web3 infrastructure. Another $200,000 for projects that are building developer tooling. They have allocated another $200,000 for projects that are building decentralized applications and apps, right? And then they have a different funding mechanism called retro funding for mature projects. So these are projects that have been running in various Gitcoin run for some time now, and they have established rapport. They have been able to continuously build and provide value. And so this is a new experiment that, they categorize or they group those projects together and then fund them specifically through a different mechanism, which is the retro funding. This one, they select the people who will vote for these projects. And it's interesting because the way they select the people is that if you have ever donated to a Gitcoin round in multiple rounds, chances are you'll be selected to determine how 600,000 should be allocated to 30 projects participating in this round. So the cool thing is, imagine a lot of you here are builders, right? Imagine you build an open source software or any of the software that you are building or the decentralized application you are building ends up being in this mature round. Currently, there's only 30 projects that is in this round, and they are sharing 600,000. So that is $600,000. And that is the impact that Gitcoin is making, and the interesting mechanism that they are kind of pioneering when it comes to funding project public goods. Okay, now back to our conversation with this. So I was talking about how every round has an amount allocated to it. So now the project within the round would get to share this 200,000, right? They get to share this 200,000. And the way they share this 200,000 is through the people that vote for them. And the people that vote for them is through the donation that they receive. So every time one person donates to your project, they have voted for your project. So there's something called quadratic funding. And the principle behind quadratic funding is that the more people you get as donors, or the more people that donate to you in a specific round, the more you are likely to get a higher percentage of the matching pool, which is the grant amount. You get it? So assuming you have two projects, right? Let me just use this simple example before we continue. Let's say we have two projects, project 1 and project 2, and they are sharing $10,000, and project one gets 50 donors, but each of those 50 donors donated $1, and project 2 got 10 donors, but each of those donors donated $50, right? So when you, after everything, you realize that project 1 had more contributors or more donors than project 2, but project 2 has more donation amount than project 1. So traditionally, the project with the more donation amount might end up getting more of the capital, right? But with quadratic funding mechanism, we say that because more people have donated to the project, it is a signal that your project has benefited more people, right? Your project has provided more value to a lot more people than the project that have received less contributors. And so for that, you should be rewarded with a higher percentage of the grant amount for you to continue, of course, for you to continue making impact and to more people. So that is the whole mechanism behind quadratic funding. But there is a problem, and the problem is that the way that the blockchain recognizes individuals is through wallets, right? So on the blockchain, there are no humans, there are only wallet addresses. And so we assume that wallet addresses are tied to human beings. Okay. Unfortunately, that is not so, because one person can create thousands or hundreds of wallet addresses. And so we have something called Sybil attack, where one person would just create hundreds of wallet addresses and then use and fund those hundreds, wallet addresses, and then donate to their project. So at the end of the day, they would get more contributors, but it's just coming from maybe just one person, right? Or just a very few people. And so it's like a coordinated attack on the system, which ends up giving them a large share of the grant, and which is basically like which is no good. And so how do we solve this Sybil attack problem? So one of the ways was the introduction of the Gitcoin Passport. So the Gitcoin Passport was, how do we aggregate data points to make sure that a wallet that is participating or contributing in the Gitcoin round is at least a human being. So again, if you go to passports so that is the origin kind of story behind the passport, right? So it's how do we prevent people from creating hundreds of wallets? Okay. Yes, and gaming the system. So they introduced Gitcoin Passports. Again, like I said, Gitcoin Passport is basically connecting various data points and then linking it to one wallet address on the blockchain. And then that would kind of increase the possibility that it's a human being that is operating that account. And here's another crazy thing. So when people were creating hundreds of wallets, right, sometimes it even goes into the 1,000. They also run these wallet addresses with bots. Someone could write a script. That will fund, the script will take a certain amount of Ethereum, and then it would automatically, the program would automatically fund 100 of wallets, and then it will go ahead and donate. So it was a bit crazy because people were using bots and etc. to do this. So with the introduction of the Gitcoin Passport, it's now said that, okay, we have various data points on the internet that when linked to a wallet address, we can confidently, or it can increase the confidence level of the wallet being controlled by a human being, right? Right. So if you go, then they said, okay, phone verification, right? Like a human being has a phone number. So what if we can link that to a wallet address? There is Gitcoin staking. Like the staking of Gitcoin, it takes a lot. It involves a lot of processes, and you have to buy certain amounts. So by the time you are going through all of that, they know that at least your humanity, your score is up. And so they had all these data points to be connected to the wallet. Now, the more this unique humanity score goes up, the more likelihood that the wallet address is connected to a human being. And so that is the whole idea behind Gitcoin Passport, now called Passport, and how it helps solve the Sybil attack. But there was another problem. And the problem was that what if a group of people, right? A group of people just came together and attacked the system. So imagine you have a community of 1,000 people, and then during a grant round, they just come in and donate to one project. And that project, only that project just gets a very huge part of the grant, right? So 200,000. And you can coordinate thousands of contributors to just come in, donate, and you can get like 100,000 out of the 200,000, and then you have over 100 projects participating. That wouldn't be fair, right? So how do we also deal with that? Now, this one technically is not, for me, it's not bad, right? It's not bad in the sense that if your project is benefiting so many people and you can mobilize and coordinate those people to come in and vote for you and donate to you, that is actually a very good signal that you are doing so well and you are actually connected to the people that your project is providing value for.
Yeah.
You get it? So technically it's not bad, but then again, they want a lot of projects to also kind of receive a reasonable amount of the funding, right? So it won't be fair to some projects that make impact, but then probably don't have time to coordinate their community like others, you know. So then how do we also solve that? So two things were introduced. The first one is what we call cluster matching. And then the second one, this is more for people that operate the grant rounds. The second one was the limit to how much a project can receive in a particular round. So sometimes they cap the limit. So one project cannot maybe go beyond $20,000. So you can receive a lot of contributors, but they will cap it at how much you can receive from the 200,000, so that one project does not end up getting 150,000 US dollars, and then the rest being distributed to the others. So that sometimes they cap it, but then the other part, but the capping part is directly done by the people who operate the round, right? So that is something that donors and projects don't have control over. But the other very interesting mechanism that was introduced is the cluster matching. And a simple way to introduce cluster matching is that your participation in the grant, right? The scale, let me use that word, the scale of your participation in the grant round indicates how much weight should be given to your donations. Okay, let's break it down. So number one, when you donate to a Gitcoin round, let me go back and say that, for example, I go to dApps. When you donate to a Gitcoin round and you have a passport score, there is something called a matching that is connected to your donation. So sometimes when you donate $1, depending on your passport score, that $1 can be matched to like maybe $100, right? And the $100 is how much of the main grant amount, which is in this case like 200,000, should be given to your donation, right? Should be linked to your donation and to your vote, and that will be given to the project. So to practically demonstrate that, let me show you. So say that I have chosen 5 projects, and I'm going to donate to those projects. Okay, let's see. It says that I don't have funds, so I can just use small refuel and say I want this on here, and hold on, let me just switch this to a base, right? And on base, okay, base it. By the way, this is a very simple software that you can use to bridge assets. And let's do this. Okay, so let's bridge. Okay. So in case you have money on a different network and you want to bridge to Arbitrum, you can use this. This is very simple and it's fast too. So yes, good. So as you can see, it's done. I can refresh this. Good. And yes, I already have some 0.04. And let's say that I want to donate 0.002, apply to all. Let's remove this and that for demonstration purposes, right? So let's do this. 0.00. Okay, good. I just wanted to show you how the matching works. So this is how the matching works. You see, for example, I'm donating $1 to Library Protocol. And that $1, there is $9 here. So which means that this $9 is the amount that is matched from the 200,000. So to me, they'll pick 200,000, they'll pick $9 from the 200,000 and add it to this $1 and then give it to Library Protocol. If you look at this project, it's $31, right? If you look at this, it's $44. So different projects have different different matching based on how they've been in the system for some time. And as you know, Library Protocol is a new project, and this is in fact our first Gitcoin round. So chances are the matching can be on the lower side compared to projects that have been operating for like 3 years or 4 years.
Sure.
So this is how the matching works, and this is why it's so powerful, because imagine donating $1 and you are getting $44 additionally. So it means that if 10 people donate $1, you are somewhere around $400 or $500. You get it? So $40 giving you $400. So that is so at the end of the day, or at the end of the grant round, the project would get the amount donated to it plus the matching from the 200,000 US dollars, which is the matching pool. Right. So that is what the matching is all about. And so the more your humanity score goes up, the more you're matching. So this is very important. So and then the whole idea is that it's a human being that is donating, not a bot. But the good thing is that this score, forget about this score. Mine is too high. It's an overkill. If you have 15 and above, you are good. You should be eligible for the matching. And the matching is the amount that they give it to you when you donate. The amount from the 200,000 that they give it to you when you donate. If you have 0 passport score, sometimes they don't match you because they assume that you can game the system. Because how do they determine whether you are a human being or you are a bot? So that's why this is important. Anyway, so that's it. That's a quick overview of what Gitcoin is. And so why should you donate to Gitcoin? Quick one. I'll mention maybe 3 reasons why. Well, number one, you get to participate in this global grant experiment or program that for the first time ever, you can determine which project gets funded. And this is so important because, again, I use DeFi Africa as a practical example because almost everybody here is getting value from DeFi Africa, right? And a great way to fund DeFi Africa is you to determine how much they should receive if they are participating in such a program. So instead of some people who don't know DeFi Africa sitting somewhere in the West or Europe or wherever, determining how much DeFi Africa should receive for their impact, which sometimes they don't even bother because they will not even, there's a lot of biases. For the first time, that DeFi Africa is making an impact in your life, you get to decide how much they should receive from this grants program. You see how powerful is that? How powerful that is. So it becomes like a very decentralized way of determining grant allocations to projects. Number two, if you are a project and you are building something in Web3, Gitcoin offers a very easier way to start getting funded, especially if you are building a decentralized application, which is like maybe open source, right? And also region or climate-based programs. It's so easy to start here, and then gradually you can extend to other places. Yeah, so I'm talking from the perspective of builders, and I know a lot of us here are builders. And so if you are struggling to find out or to find somewhere to get funding for your project, you can start from here. And so when your project goes in, other people get to contribute to your project, right? And so it's good if you are participating in the ecosystem. And then when you send a project, people can know that, okay, you know, you are a donor, and now you are also a builder. And so you get people to support your project. The third one is that on certain occasions, people that donate to Gitcoin rounds or generally public goods rounds, they get rewarded with tokens. And some of the very popular airdrops in Web3, some popular ones have actually rewarded donors of previous Gitcoin rounds. A typical example is Optimism. And I think even Arbitrum. I don't remember the Arbitrum criteria, but
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah, okay. Yes.
I think I'll search for that. I can't also remember. I know they did it sometime.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you, Sabia. So the Arbitrum, Optimism, some of the really impactful airdrops, have gone to people that have donated to Gitcoin rounds. And the whole idea is that some of the projects started here, right? So, for example, a library protocol, again, if in the near future we decide to tokenize, I think it would be fair to reward the people that funded us at the beginning or from the beginning or continuously for us to get to where we got to. So the Gitcoin program itself serves as a signal to see upcoming really, really potentially great projects. So you donate to a project today here, and tomorrow that project has become a huge success, and they decide to tokenize, and then they decide to reward the community, and then you get to be rewarded as a result of funding the project when it was nothing. So that is a very compelling reason. These are some very compelling reasons why you should participate in this large-scale funding program. Okay, so how do you fund projects? Oh, I nearly forgot something when I was talking about the cluster matching mechanism. So the cluster matching mechanism, I was talking to you about how beyond Gitcoin Passport, a community can still organize and then come and donate to just one project. So to curb that or to solve that, the cluster matching mechanism was introduced that now requires you to donate to more than one round, right? More than one round. Remember, we don't like, the system doesn't want to recognize you as just being a supporter of just one project, right? It may be one round and then just leaving. You have to kind of spread your wings a little bit, because it's not just about one project, but also checking the platform for promising project and then voting for those promising projects or donate, for that matter, donating to those projects. And so the cluster matching now make sure that the people that donate to more than one round get to have higher matching. What does that mean? Remember, there is 200,000 to be distributed to projects in, for example, this round. So if I donate in this round, which is the DAP round, if I donate to a couple of projects, and then I go back, and then go to Web3 infrastructure, right? I go to Web3 infrastructure again, and then I go and donate to a couple of projects in Web3 infrastructure, right? And then I go back again and go to dev tooling. And then I donate to project in dev tooling. It means that, you see, I am participating more in this program than somebody that just comes and just pick one, donate and leaves, right? It means like my participation rate is more than that person because I'm really, donating to different rounds and making impact and spreading impact in terms of determining where funding should go to projects and also just donating to projects. So what that means is that the weight associated with my donation and my vote is higher than somebody that just donates in one round. So the more rounds you donate in, the higher the weight associated with your donation and your vote. All right, so that's the cluster matching. So it's very important that you do that. So now let's go to how donation works. So you just go to the Gitcoin page. And then once you get there, in fact, let me just start this from scratch, right? Let me start this from scratch. So how do you donate? Go to gitcoin.co, gitcoin.co, right over here. And then you just click on the link here, GG23 donations opened, right? So you just click on it, and that opens the page to the current round. So once you are here, you can choose rounds to donate to. I actually forget to mention the community rounds, but these are not rounds that are operated by Gitcoin. These are the main Gitcoin rounds, but these are also community rounds that also fund their communities or certain niche or ecosystems. Yeah. So region coordination here, these people are funding region initiatives, climate initiatives, etc. Good builders, they are funding stuff, token engineering, Web3 for universities. If some of you remember, when I was in Tamale, when we're all in Tamale at the Hacker Boost list, and I mentioned this, right? I mentioned that some of the project that you guys have built or you folks have built would really be good to qualify into some of these rounds.
Great.
So yes, right. Yes. In fact, I also remember School Fi. School Fi would have been a very good, would have been a very good distance. So if you don't even qualify for the major round, chances are you qualify for some of the community rounds. And that is the good thing about this whole thing. The probability of you getting a round where your project can get in is high, when you are building in the space. Anyway, so let's go back to how you donate. Remember, let me just show library protocol, of course, because it's a project that we are all familiar with that literally launched. We're at Tamale together, and so yeah. So once you come here, right, you would first navigate. So library protocol is in the main round, and it's also in the community round. So in the main round, you find it in the dApps and apps, open source dApps and apps, and you just scroll down. Now, the way the project have been arranged, they have filters. Because of time, I'll not touch on this. Maybe later in the future, we'll digest or dissect the platform very well. But now you can just you can search here, right, for library protocol, right, and then you click on this, add it to the cart. So you are shopping. When you are participating in this one, you are basically shopping. So you add it to the cart, and then you can also, take your time if you like and go through the things, see interesting things that people are building, and if you like any, you can add it to the cart. But for the sake of demonstrating the cluster matching mechanism, I'll choose just one project from the dApps and apps. And then I'll go back. I'll go back and then go to the Web3 infrastructure. Sometimes you have to be patient for the site to load. So the Web3 infrastructure, right? I'll come here. And wait for it. Good. So I'll come here and select another one, right? So you can just browse through. If you have the time, you can read some of the things. And by the way, it's also an inspiration to some of the things you are building. You can get a lot of ideas if you are building a project,
That's what I do most of the times when I get here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see. So what I'll do is I am going to pick this one, deep funding. Deep funding is very interesting. So deep funding. So I'll pick one from here, from the Web3 infrastructure. Then I'll go back. I'll go back and go to the dev tooling, right? So the people that are building tooling to help you, the builders, build your decentralized applications. You can support those people. So I'll go to dev tooling. And then I can browse through. And I know a project that will make Sabia happy because he uses it a lot. There is scaffold. I know he uses scaffold, but I don't choose scaffold. There's one that he loves. You wait for it. Oh, where is it? Hold on. I should be able to see it. If it's not here, then that is unfortunate, but let's see. I think it should be here. Where is this thing? Okay, hold on. It has. Is it here?
Yeah,
Okay, it's not here. If it is not here, then the next one that's I like is of course scaffold, right?
Yeah.
So we can pick scaffold. All right. So there is scaffold it. There's also Open Zeppelin. And even Gitcoin Passport, right? So it's also open source. So if you want to support Gitcoin Passport for the work they are doing, you can do that. But for a practical overview of basically what you guys interacted with or what Sabia used to teach you guys, so we can use, I think I'll do scaffold it. Yes, so I'll select scaffold it. So now, as you can see, I have picked one project from dApps and apps. I've picked one project from Web3 infrastructure. I have picked one project from Web3 tooling. So now I'm happy. These are 3 projects from 3 separate rounds, all on the same network, Arbitrum. So once you are okay with your shopping, you just go to the cart, which is here. You click on it. And then you can now fund it, right? So let me just delete this. And delete this. Hold on. This was already in my card, so good. So these are the 3 projects. Is it? Yeah, it's 3. So as you can see, boom, developer tooling, boom, Web3 infrastructure, boom, DApps and apps. Good. So let's say that we are donating. Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to talk to you about before I forget is that if you have, let's say, because of the way the matching thing works, if you have a participating project, right, or project that you are getting a lot of value from directly, it's very good to skew your donation amount. So if you have $3, you can donate $1 to 3 projects, or you can donate $2 to maybe Library Protocol and $1 to another project somewhere, right? And that kind of like indicates, how much impact or impact that Library Protocol is making is having on you. So it makes sense that if DeFi Africa was here, I would donate more to DeFi Africa as somebody who has had more value in DeFi Africa. So you have to also take that into account. So we can do 0.00. So over here, again, I wanted to show you the 2 ways you can donate. So you can put one amount here and apply it to all. So this is for usually those who, if you have chosen a lot of projects, right, and then you want to donate one amount to all the projects, you can do that. Or you can use the individual amount section to indicate how much you want to donate to each project. So look at the crazy thing here. I'm donating to Scaffold Eat 2, and I'm donating $1.28. Okay. At the end of the day, my donation of $1.28 will turn into $133. So even if you have 10 people, right, that are donating to your project, you would end up having what? If 10 people are donating $1.28 and $1, and maybe they have a Gitcoin Passport that maybe is 15 plus, from the 10 people alone, you can get somewhere around close to $1,300, $1,400. Right? So if you have a community that is supporting you, you would get a reasonable amount of funding for your project, for you to continue to build. And that's why it's so powerful. So that is it. And so once you are okay with the amount, so what I do is that, like I said, I come here and edit this a little bit, right? So you can edit this. And once you are okay to go, you click on submit your donation. So you click on submit your donation. And this is a new thing they introduced. You can add a 10% donation to Gitcoin themselves, right? Or you can choose not to. For this, I'll choose not to, because I don't have enough money in my pocket right now. So I'll not donate to Gitcoin, just the project that I have selected. So once you are okay, you click on checkout. So once you click on checkout, then you wait for it. And then you sign the transaction. Once you've signed the transaction, your donation has gone through. All of the projects would receive your donation plus your votes. So congratulations. But that is not the end. The next step is you have to mint your donation into your wallet. Okay. So this is a way for you to show on your wallet that you have donated. So you can, over here, you can see that mint donation. Right. So you can click on mint donation. So this is an attestation, and it's very, very important, because in the near future, if we want to look at how many people Okay, if we want to look at how many people have donated in like the Gitcoin round, we can just check how many people have this NFT in their wallet, right? And then we'll be able to see. And so it's very, very important that you mint this attestation after donating. And my gas fees is finished, so I have to replenish. I have to replenish my gas fees, so I'll do that later. But that's all. Then when you finish, you can also share it on X. It's sometimes very good to tag the project, and it's also a way of expanding your social reputation for your participation in the grants program. And with that, we've come to the end of the quick tutorial on how to donate to the Gitcoin. Over to you, Sabia.
That's awesome, guys. Can we show some appreciation? That was awesome. Yeah. You see, the Gitcoin algorithm is one of the biggest algorithms I've ever seen. Yeah, Charlie. You look
it's
at
mass, bro. Hardcore mass.
Very hardcore. How they are able to put everything together, please, that's serious. Okay, guys. So this is Gitcoin, and you just got into Gitcoin like that. So what we expect you to do is, because we have only less than 15 hours for this. Yes. So the current round is left with only 15 hours. Okay. So if you are here with your laptop, we expect that you get on your laptop, open Gitcoin.co, and then you can start doing the process. You only need, even if you have $3, and that will even help to boost your passport. Okay, so you need to get involved, and just like we mentioned, when you get to dApps and apps, you choose library protocol, you can go to Web3 infrastructure or even the university, Web3 for universities. Just try to get some other 2 projects from 2 rounds. And then when you get, if you have like $4, okay, let's say you have 3 projects that you want to support and you have like $4, then you give $2 to library protocol, then share the remaining $2 to the 2 other projects. So that will determine the weight. So these 3 projects, the $2 that you've given to library protocol will determine that library protocol has the highest weight than the other 2 projects. But it still shows that you are stretching your hand to support other projects. That way the algorithm will be able to pick you up so quickly. So I think this is really great. And in fact, looking at how the votes library protocol have gotten, I'm not impressed at all. And ThinkDecade, this is something that we've been facing in Ghana.
Yes.
It's really difficult,
Yeah.
It's
And
really
you see,
difficult.
and I, what Sabia is saying is very true in the sense that this is a community-driven funding mechanism. Okay, so what that means is that it's very grassroots. So we need people to donate and vote for this. So so we are hoping that you would understand the importance and the urgency of this and participate in this, right? Like be part of it, even not just when your project is in alone, but anytime a Gitcoin round is happening, we want you to participate in this because this is your voice. We have a problem of putting our voice out there and also participating in these things. And every day we say that one of the problems that we always put out there is that we feel left out. Africans will say that we feel left out and this and this and that. But when there is an opportunity for us to participate, we usually don't. And so if you don't participate, how do you complain that you have been left out? So go in here and support your project, and then have an attestation, an on-chain attestation on your wallet that you are not just a consumer of the benefit, but you are also someone who participates in the project and direct capital to the project that makes impact in your life, right? And others in the space. So I think yeah. Over to you, Sabia.
Yeah. So I also hope that you understand this is an issue we are facing, and I always tell you, you also come to face it unless you stop building in Web3. You're going to continue building in this space, you will face this issue very soon. And that's why I always try to let you guys know that community is very great. For us, we've been in this round many times. We've already raised some monies, and so far we have some people that will always support us whenever we go in. Even if the number is not that too much, but still we get some people in there that will always support us. But now, how about you, who is coming to start? So we are always trying to let you guys understand that this is something that we want to build together, and if whatever we are bringing up is for the good of all of us, not just somebody. I expected many people to be on this call, but that's still not a problem. The few of us who are here, we can do our best. Let's try our best. Immediately after here, let's just go to Gitcoin, try to do something, get ourselves the NFT for participating here. And the next round, we expect that some of your projects will be ready so that we ship them onto the Gitcoin. That will be the time you begin to understand this community thing. When you get here and you don't even see anybody, I've seen some projects, they are still going around looking for, especially Ghanaian projects are always facing, it's not easy to build in Ghana. Normally, these Nigerian guys, you see them supporting, their community is very vibrant. They have a very vibrant community. Nigeria and Kenya. Ghana, we are very reserved and relaxed. I don't know. Maybe we have money. We are just rich people. So that's what I always feel. Like Ghanaians are rich, like rich in their mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are very rich in their mind to the extent that we don't really care about some things happening. But I think it's high time we change this mindset so we can also get involved to benefit from these things. Okay. So I'm going to let me share my screen. So I have some. So I'll do my
Awesome.
yeah.
Let me stop my own.
Sure.
By the way, while Sabia is sharing his screen, one of the projects that I founded, which in fact Sabia was even part of, was Public Good Africa. And Public Good Africa was, as a way of educating people to understand the mechanics of how these, Gitcoin thing and other public goods funding works. So I would encourage everyone to join the Public Good Africa community, which is on Telegram. And what we do is that, one, we support projects. If you want to enter a round, we support you. We help you do the application, etc., etc. And once you're also in the round, we also help you push, for donors. So, so like Sabia is saying, probably in the next round, we might, if you keep building, and we might have a couple of projects that will be participating in some of the rounds, and we'll be there to help you, right? So join the community. I'm dropping it in the WhatsApp. Check the DeFi Africa chat. You would see a link to the community there, and then do join it. And when you donate, please drop in the community that you've donated. Let's see all the people that are, that are donating. Okay, over to you, Sabia.
All right. So I just got some few projects in my cart that I'm going to support right now. Okay. So under developer tooling, I have Open Zeppelin. And okay, so let me add. I forgot to add scaffold. I'm going back to
Yeah, if Ethers JS was in this, we would have given them like
Yeah.
50K,
And hard
50K.
hat. And this I'm not even seeing hard hat. I don't know why hard hat is not there. Okay. So all right. So these are the projects I have, and okay. So under dApps and apps, I have 3 projects: library protocols, speedrun Ethereum, and then 3gens. I don't know 3gens. Let me see. 3gens. I know the guy, so I'll support them.
Yeah.
That's one thing. All right, so
Ooh.
we have Web3 for universities. Then
Yeah.
we also have good dollar builders. This guy too. Yeah, I know him. So the guy
Okay.
building this project, I know him. All right.
Mm.
So now let me see what I will do here. Okay, so I don't have USDT. I need to get USDT right now.
Yeah.
So I'll use
Either
USDT.
that or you can use the ETH. But I realized that using the USDC is simple. It's
Yes, it's more.
much simpler.
I think what I have here is USDT, and I have to just convert it very quickly to USDC.
Yeah.
Let me see. That's $30, 30 USDT.
Oh, okay.
So let me switch it with Uniswap.
Yeah.
So okay. Oh, so let me check something before somebody hack my account. Uniswap exchange. Okay. So let's see. What's going on, guy? Anyway, let me type it so I will not have any problem. So app dot.
Yeah, Uniswap.
Yeah.
Usually I just even use Matcha.
Okay.
Yeah, Matcha is
So Uniswap, DeFi Africa is a beneficiary of Uniswap.
the
So I mean,
first. Is it the first this thing? Oh no,
yeah,
the first one was Compound, right?
yeah, Compound. So Uniswap,
Okay.
Compound was known to the lending and borrowing.
Mm.
The Uniswap came with this exchanging. And the open source have really, this is why guys, I don't know why they will build a thing and still make it open source. And
Yeah.
you'll see other people cloning it, using, even coming out with projects, but they are still there. Sometimes I look at them and I'll be like, these guys
Yeah.
are just different.
You have to choose the yeah, that one. Yeah. Right now they've made it multi-chain and then switch it.
Yeah, so I'll just use it to switch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I just send everything to you. USDC. So I know these guys are pouring money to builders.
Who? Uniswap.
Uniswap. They
Mhm.
call it the unit chain builders.
Okay.
Unit chain builders fund. They are pouring a lot of money, but normally they are more onto those that use their hooks.
Yeah.
So they are more onto the DeFi based projects.
Project. Okay.
They already pour a lot of money to builders. So no, they supported G3 Summit. They were our main sponsor. 2022, you remember that, right?
Yeah.
So I've been in contact with the CEO, Devin Walsh, and even they invited us to the Hooks.
The Hook Summit.
The Hooks boot camp,
Oh.
which was hijacked by Indians. Charlie. They gave out how much was that? Was it $560,000 or how much to these Indians to supervise that event? A lot of money. But use Hooks. That's awesome. All right, so I'm using my Windows and I can feel the slow.
No, I think you have to. Yes, your wallet.
Trying to sign.
Yeah.
Let's go. I can see it. Oh. Oh. If it's trying to give me, I'll just use a different platform.
Yeah, let me see. How about using Matcha? Let me just send it to you.
Sure. So I expected to see the signing message in my MetaMask, but that's not actually coming.
Yeah. Check your Telegram. I've dropped you a link. I usually just use this one.
Sure, okay.
Okay, so are you guys doing your donation? If anybody is doing, they have any problem, you can let us know.
Yeah,
Whilst
you can also share your screen if you like. Okay, so let me just.
No, Sabia, check your Telegram. I've sent you a link.
All right. So I'm checking that right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I saw it matcha. I believe this is my first time seeing this exchange.
Oh, okay.
Like the space is now too large that.
Yeah, no, but this is one of the OG exchanges. This existed alongside Uniswap during those days.
Wow. So I exchanged called to my attention. Let's just swap these guys. So okay, so start trading. Then I will swap. It's not the same thing. Uniswap is doing.
I mean, you know these people already. They give you a familiar interface.
Ah,
They give you, but one of the things, Matcha is an aggregator.
okay.
So what that means is that it will check everywhere to give you the best price. So look at the route. It's Trader Joe version 2.1.
I think
Mhm.
I have a problem with my. Let me just close this browser and open it again.
Yeah, maybe there is the MetaMask, but I think we can also just call it like a session, and the people can go and do their donation.
Yeah,
And
sure. That's fine.
yeah, Kofi, are you, if you don't need to select one project from in all of the rounds, you can just basically just donate to 2 rounds. So library protocol, you choose library protocol in the apps, and then you choose maybe another project like Ethers from a scaffold from the Web3 infrastructure, right? So with $2 or $3, you just do your donation and go. Don't worry about choosing project from all the rounds, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. So guys, I think that's what was the time? It's 10. So we've had like 1 hour.
Yes. So let me just drop. Hafiz, go ahead. I'm dropping the link to Public Good Africa in the chat. If anybody wants, in fact, you should
So,
join.
yeah,
You should
you
join
send
the
it to me.
community.
I'll just put it in the group.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put it in the WhatsApp group.
Okay. Good. Awesome. So, yeah, send it to you.
Okay, Hafiz, you have the floor. Okay, I got it. Yes. Or maybe that was a mistake. I have this hand is up.
Hafiz, go ahead. Let's see. Yes, you've raised your hand. Yeah, I think probably it was a mistake.
Yeah. All right, guys. So this session will be uploaded to YouTube and share with you guys in case you want to come back there to get something. If you miss something, you can come back to the video. All right. But ThinkDecade, that was really awesome. And
Thank you.
yeah, grateful to have you.
Thank you.
I'll call you back again. We really have to
Okay.
get into Gitcoin. So
Okay.
you'll be called back again. I think I'm having a network issue. Okay. So I think we can talk about that in the group later.
Okay. All right.
Well, guys, have a good night, and please go to Gitcoin and donate today. We are left with just less than 14 hours for the whole thing to close. And the moment that is closed, unless next round, 3 months time, you cannot vote again. But we really need you guys to get on board. Just try the little you have, or even if anything, you reach out to me. We just want to get you guys there. You should try to get yourself there, and let's see what happens. Okay. So have a good night, everyone. Bye.